For me, December 2020 marks 5 years of building and running RainKraft. Celebrations were duly planned and abandoned. But what I did instead is send my favorite people a gift box with things that I knew they would enjoy and things that certainly I loved. And somehow this has been a very fulfilling way of celebrating 5 years on this journey. As I was curating the boxes, I recalled the first interactions that I had with these team members, clients, and friends. And I could also imagine how they might react to receiving the gift. And interestingly, that's how they reacted too. For me, the greatest reward on this journey has been getting to know some truly phenomenal people.
Welcome to Small Talk with RainKraft. Well, it's that time of year when nostalgia runs wild. For me too, this year marks 5 years of truly being a freelancer and managing to thrive through some exceptional circumstances. I'm Hasita,
And I'm Subha.
and in this very special episode, straight from our hearts, we hope to discuss the deepest, most vulnerable moments of being a small business. Whether you're running a one-person entity or a small enterprise, we hope that you can relate to some of the things that we discuss here today.
Most significantly, though, we hope that our experiences and the lessons we learned along the way help you navigate the challenges that you might be going through right now. The first thing I'd like to talk about, and this is probably on everyone's mind right now, is doing business amid uncertainty. In April of 2020, I really thought we were headed for a very, very lean patch. And yet somehow it didn't bring me down too much. The idealistic reason here, and I can say this with certain bragging rights, is that I knew two things matter to me: growing and my people. So when the time came to reshuffle projects and inevitably lose some of them, I was very clear that I would seek out more and that I would continue to pay my team. Perhaps being a small business is an advantage in that sense. I was, to a great extent, able to run an agile business where the fixed costs were kept low. This allowed me to create a corpus that helped us tide through the 2 or 3 months of real uncertainty we faced.
So true. And what really stands out to me, Subha, is that uncertainty did only last for 2-3 months, right? Because I remember us talking towards the end of March, the beginning of April, and really preparing for years of, not knowing where we are going with this. But I think within a few months, we really were able to pick up the pieces. And I think we should pat ourselves on the back for that. So being self-employed, I think one of my greatest fears was what will I do the day I stop earning? And in many ways, I see now in hindsight that this was the fear that caused me to limit some of the risks I would have otherwise liked to take, perhaps a little bit earlier. But then it's never too late and everything happens for a reason. So early this year, my income also hit near zero and I was paying out everything that I was making. And surprisingly, I was at peace with it. It didn't shake me as much as I thought it would. And I know here that I'm really one of the lucky few, and I want to acknowledge my privilege. I was lucky enough to really not to have to worry about some of the basic stuff, like where will the next meal come from or who will put the roof over my head. But I think losing a large sum of money has an impact on the mindset. It does impact confidence. And that's what really surprises me about the whole journey for us as well, is I think we managed to exhibit a certain degree of resilience in the face of adversity.
My first hope for 2021, then, Hasita, is that we're all able to find ourselves that little spark that will keep us going. Some of us may not have financial and emotional security right now to keep going, but I do hope that you will keep pushing away. Things do have a way of working out, especially for the stubborn heart.
So, Subha, we had this discussion a few days ago on what we really want going into 2021. And I think both of us agreed that we are ready to slow down a little bit. And of course, when we say that, a certain clarification has to be offered because we are not perceiving slowing down as physically stopping what we are doing. I think that we're just having too much fun right now to do that. But what we do mean is that we really want to get out of the firefighting mode, which has characterized so much of this year in that sense, and seek fulfillment beyond that aspect. Running a business, it really involves a lot of running, so to speak. And I think we are slightly beyond that headspace, though. Maybe many of our listeners are too at the pace that we've kept up this year. I think that a lot of us are getting tired of it, and we've heard this from clients as well, truly wanting to find meaning and wanting to really find that space where they can make a difference without having to hurry through something. I think so many people are just ready to embark on new adventures, and my best wishes to all of them, because I am certainly one of those people. And I think the businesses we are interacting with are thinking about growth in very different ways. That's also encouraging us to do the same to a great extent. And perhaps in the end of the year spirit, it is time for all of us to hit pause and really think about what we want.
And I'm super grateful for having the opportunity to do just that. The pandemic, in many ways, has been a great reset button for all of us. Many of us are claiming it in very different ways. We want to grow now, more than ever, and we're now willing to do it in the spirit of collaboration. It is a beautiful world indeed, and that becomes so much more visible when all of us are shaken out of our routines and asked to respond to a higher call. Even in my network, friends have plunged into helping those who do not have the same agency and access to bounce back so quickly. We are all trying to lend a helping hand to at least one more person, and that's making a difference. We also know of several companies that are merging with others to create more value for their clients. We ourselves have tons of plans for the year ahead and ideas on how to make them come to life somewhat quickly.
And what I'm really grateful for, Subha, in that context is the end of this year itself. I know that sounds a little childish, but yeah, it is what it is. While time itself is such a human construct, we get to mark beginnings and we get to mark finish lines. And I think God knows we all need a finish line this year. I'm actually pretty excited about the prospect of a fresh start. And I also want to acknowledge here the opportunities we did get to explore. Some of them turned out phenomenally great, while others, they sucked, let me say it. But I think what every single one of them did invariably is to give us a chance to hope and to grow and to learn and sometimes just keep the ship sailing. And for that, I'm very, very grateful. So, one question I get asked a lot, more so probably in this context, is where do we scout for opportunities?
I think more than ever, one, it is the networks that are paying off. And I remember you had posted on LinkedIn a while ago about the sheer value of a connection made without the intent of getting anything in return. In many ways, and perhaps ironically so, the work we get now is from people we share genuine connections with. There are people who've probably seen us at work on something else, and even friends and family who have now become colleagues and clients. A lot of the work is really coming from someone reaching out and saying, "Hey, I know you guys do good work, or you've done good work for me before, and why don't you take on something more?" Now, building a network from scratch takes a lot of work, and networks usually don't pay off immediately. But it's certainly exciting to think about how many more people we are yet to meet and how many collaborations they may be able to bring forth.
As a starting point for someone choosing to begin today, I'd say that the prospects are still bright because people seek human connection more than anything right now. And genuine human connections always go a long way. So there are platforms like Lunch Club, which I signed up for interestingly at the beginning of this year because I wasn't seeing other people and I just needed to kind of connect. So I signed up on this platform which facilitates virtual meetings, and it's called Lunch Club in case anyone wants to join. Is the whole purpose of the platform itself is to encourage people to talk in whatever context it is that they want to talk. And I've had some really fulfilling meetings on Lunch Club so far. And also, you never know what the simple act of, reconnecting with an old friend can do for you. So many opportunities, so many insights, perhaps you may not find that next job, but you might find that next path itself in life when you talk to people who've known you for a period of time. And, like I said, people really do want to connect today, maybe a little bit more than they would have appreciated before. So a really heartfelt and a genuine LinkedIn message, maybe all that's really standing between you and the next opportunity. And it is amazing how much people will do for you if, we can just be genuine about it.
I think, Hasita, if there's something that I will always wish for you, it is that you get a genuine LinkedIn note with a connection
Thank
request.
you.
But yeah, I feel so grateful for everything that's happened for us and even more for the way things worked out. But I do want to wrap this up on a lighter note. So, Hasita, what are you planning to do during your Christmas break?
Well, you know what, Suva? Someone asked me this exact same question the other day. They said, "You're taking 10 days off in a year where there's nothing to do, nowhere to go. What are you going to do with all that time?" And I said to them, "I'm going to wake up every day and just wait until the day surprises me pleasantly." And that's exactly what I intend to do, right? I'll just wake up every day, no plans, no agendas. And I will just wait until the inspiration strikes because I don't remember the last time I did that. Maybe when I was a child. So I'll probably be baking. I will certainly be watching Netflix. I have a full watch list ready. But I think I'll just overall practice the simple art of just being for once.
Well, if you do end up baking, please send some over.
Sure, Subha. And how about you? What are you planning to do in, I think I must say, a very, very well deserved break?
Well, I woke up this morning and doom scrolling took me to Reese Witherspoon's book club. So I ended up buying 6 books on Amazon, but they all promised to land home soon, in time for my break. But I think this was just my way of intentionally creating the space for a digital detox. Actually, more of a digital social break. I will continue to explore and enjoy my favorite podcasts and audiobooks, but I want to make time for more conversations with my kids, family, and self. So, getting social offline and not online is the plan.
And with that, we come to the last episode of Small Talk with RainKraft for this year. It has truly been a joyride so far for us. And one of the many things we tried this year is this podcast itself. How has your listening experience been so far? Do you have plans to take a break? We'd love to hear your holiday plans. Please send us a voice message or write to us. Even with baking recipes, that's fine too. You can also find us on LinkedIn if you just want to pop by. Our profile links are in the description box below.
We will be back with season 2 in the new year. So, tell us what you want to hear. Wishing you and your loved ones a very happy festive season and a wonderful new year ahead. This is Small Talk with RainKraft signing off.